Hey, it's Juan in Tradition. I live in Port St. Lucie, but I'm at the tax collector's office. They handle your DMV for you. I don't remember it being called tax collector in New York. It may be where you're from, but this is where you come and handle, buying a car, getting placed, getting your license renewed, stuff like that. I think you also come here for property clerks issues. You wanna claim the homestead exemption. That's what I was thinking about. You want to claim that. This is where you would come, and it's very convenient, right across the street from Tradition. And actually is considered a Tradition area, right not too far from the firehouse. If you look it up on Google Earth, you'll see. This is Juan at PSL. I was taking care of personal business there, so I took you along for the ride. My previous video, I think it ended me arriving. This video, me leaving, is 82 degrees on December 29. I can't thank enough for myself for moving down here and having 82 degrees on December 29. So happy to be here. There's a Town Place Suites by Marriott right next door, and there's a big giant Christ Fellowship temple. All of those buildings on that side of the street, which is my left side here, as I'm on Village Parkway and Academic Way, they border 95. So if you're driving south on 95, you'll be able to see them. You'll probably be able to see them north 95 too, but my point is they border the 95 coastline, road line. And so you get to see over here on my left, this is Ashland Way. They got a Fresh Market, they got a Target, they got a DSW, they got a Ross, they got a PetSmart. Quite a good sized mall for us here. I see the AT&T logo over there. They're still building businesses up. There's still like at least these 2 or 3 are under construction. Not quite sure what they are yet. But this is on Ashland Way and Village Parkway. To my right, you see the community that I drove in a previous video. It's part of the Tradition, all new, and it's pretty cool. You cross the street down the block from the school. If you have kids, it's at least elementary. It might be K through 8, but it's at least elementary. Obviously the county has bus service if they outgrew the school or you can't drive them. And the shopping plaza continues on the left. They got a Longhorn. They got the Italian place. Okay, they got an Old Navy. They got an EOS Fitness. I'm not certified. I'm sorry, I'm not sponsored. I just read out the names of the businesses as I go along. Obviously, some of them I do business with. Traffic seems a little heavy, but it is 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And there looks like a lane blocked off there, so, and then you can see to my left, the real tall building across 95 there is Tradition Hospital. It's actually on this side, but when you look across, for a second I thought it borders 95, because I remember being in one of the rooms and looking down and just enjoying the view. And the big plaza on my right, quite a few stores. And they have, let's see, quite a few stores there. I know there's several different banks. See if I can call it. That's Panera Bread there on the right. And then that's a Fifth Third Bank location. Some of you may know Tradition Town Hall. So a little bit to my right, you have a body of water. You can walking path. You can walk your dog. Just remember, you know, most body of waters down here have gators. They will go after the dogs. So just if you choose to walk your dog along the lake path, just make sure that you're aware, you know, you could be chased down, which it has happened several times here, whether your dog owner is not really paying attention or the dog owner is elderly and they can't get the gator goes after the dog and they can't get away from the gator, and the gator attacks the human. So just be careful. As you can tell, I'm from New York. I'm not a fan of the gators. I know they were here first. I respect that. I leave them alone. I don't do anything to protest or to harm them, but I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan that any body of water out here is trouble. You know, I live off a canal, and I've seen at least a half a dozen gators over the period of time out there. They they go on the land and they sun to get their body heat or whatever you call it from the sun. I'm not a fan. You know, they're there. I'm not. That's my point. I'm not going do anything. I don't boat. I don't fish. I don't canoe. I don't kayak. I don't do anything with the body of water because of that. I wasn't a big boater anyway, but this slammed the door. I mean, even if a friend tells me, "Hey, Juan, you know, let's go do this on the canal," I'm like, dude, not me. Some of you guys are braver than me. That's fine. I'll accept that and just move on. I don't want no part of it. But anyway, getting back to Tradition is a community that was annexed to Port St. Lucie. So now it's all Port St. Lucie the way I understand it. We still call it Tradition because it's that part of town and you can distinguish where you're talking about. But I believe their address is Port St. Lucie, Florida. I believe. I have to ask. I got quite a few friends that are residents here. I just never asked them the difference. I know this wasn't here when I moved here, so I saw it grow up, and it goes from here, goes all the way down to Becker Road, which is another exit on 95 and the turnpike, and they're still building. They got giant warehouse companies and they have giant developments. A lot of them with pool and fitness centers, so you really don't have to leave for much. And there on my right is a Courtyard by Marriott Hotel, and then right behind that is Tradition Hospital, and you can see how big it is. For this part of town, or this part of that's a big building. It was at least 5 floors. They may have added a couple of floors, or the building next to it. I know there was some construction going by. I didn't pay as close attention as I should have. That's the entrance ramp to 95 South there on my right. You'll see the overpass coming up for 95. So if you're driving, you can see how easy the commute is, how easy it is to go from Tradition to 95. You go a little further down, you can switch off on 95 and go into the turnpike, because it veers as it goes further south. It starts veering west, and the turnpike goes straight down east on the southeast. So, and it's the same 95 that we have in New York, by the way. It's not a different 95. It's still Interstate 95, I-95. So, for some of us, a 95 was an easy thing because we already knew it. You used it back home or whatever. I welcome you into our town. I think it's a great town. It's booming, and as you can see the traffic on the overpass, and you can see the sign for North 95 going, and then 125, 140 miles north is Daytona Beach, one of my favorite vacation spots. Without going too far, I have been on the West Coast several times for conferences and stayed a week or so each time, so that was pretty cool. But I like my hometown. I like the slowness of it, and I also like the way it's growing. At some point I may yell uncle, but I appreciate the growth of this town. I'm meeting more people. A lot of interesting people are coming here. A lot of people that are fed up with the traffic in Fort Lauderdale and Miami and surrounding communities. Too many to mention. They have been moving up here. A lot of them to tradition. Where I'm headed is the older part of town. Not as old as the southeast part of town, which is over there by US 1. Not that old, but this, where I'm heading, is the older part of town. This is Gatlin Plaza. They got a Dave & Buster's, a Miller's Ale House, a Wendy's, a Floor & Decor, and a Bass Pro Shop. So I'm gonna say they have quite a few businesses that the majority of people are looking for. And welcome to Port St. Lucie sign here. So this must have been, put up probably when the town was a lot smaller. Because we've been in Port St. Lucie this whole time. So AutoZone coming up, and I think that's a car wash, brand new car wash they just built. I haven't used it. I have monthly membership to the other one next to off of Gatlin and off of Tulip and Port St. Lucie Boulevard coming up. Another maybe four traffic lights, and you can see the traffic is moving. December 29. I know a lot of people are in town visiting for the holidays. I know a lot of people in town looking for real estate. I know a lot of college kids and high school kids came home to spend time with the family. We have a lot of visitors this time of year is expected, and then we get a break until the mid-January, mid-January to February. The Mets work their way down into town if they're not here already, living off season. And then they start doing their workouts at Clover Park, the spring training home of the New York Mets. And then it's an excitement for us locals to go see the New York Mets play their exhibition games. They play for about 30 days, and they move around between here, Jupiter, and West Palm. There would be, including the Mets, there would be 5 towns here that have spring trainings. So you get to see major league guys without being up north. Jupiter has 2 teams, the Cardinals and the Cardinals. Let me see. West Palm is the Houston team, the Astros, and it'll come to me. But there's 5 teams. You can Google it. Google it. Their mission, their page will give you prices and times and dates. I know you can buy tickets already. I know some people are planning to come down from New York and spend some time down here, get away from that cold weather, and catch up with their old friends. So that's pretty cool. I do meet quite a bit of people that said their travel following the teams for their vacation. It gives them an experience in a different town. If you're just curious about it, or if you prefer one team, then you stay in one town. But if like I said, within 1 hour you have 5 teams here, and you can go check out a team maybe every day depending on the schedule. So I think that's pretty cool. I think that's a great vacation. I wish it would have been like that when I was working, or if it was, I didn't know about it. But I think it's nice. Another big shopping center there. It's new, so I don't even know some of the stores. I know there was donation place. Good Samaritan, what's it called? There's an Aldi's there on my right. It's not that old. And here, on my left is the Bravo station, on my right is the Circle K. It's a mobile gas station. There's a Bravo supermarket that features hot food along with their regular supermarket products. Caribbean based hot food, right up my alley, if you couldn't tell. And we're facing the traffic light at Port St. Lucie Boulevard, one of the main intersections in our town. It has grown over the years, and they have released some of the congestion by building the Crosstown Parkway, which I vindicated in a previous video. But yeah, our town is growing. We welcome you. I think for the county is around 400 something thousand. So if you look up the numbers in the St. Lucie County website, they should be around that range. They would include Port St. Lucie and Fort Pierce. I think you can break it up and see. Obviously, Port St. Lucie has a bigger population, a bigger area than Fort Pierce. So this part of town, some homes are older, some homes are new. It's a nice mixture. Big body of water there on my left, and then you can see the cellular towers, which I'm thankful for, because we get 5G ultra wide. Supposedly that's supposed to be the fastest internet. You do lose it when you go into some places. I noticed I lost it when I went to the physical therapy. It went down to either 4G or LTE. But out here in town, you know, it's 5G ultra wide. There are some dead spots. You'll get to know them as you drive around. They last 2 seconds as you're driving by. If you're listening to the radio, I listen to a lot of internet radio, even though I have the other ones, the major brands. I have them. I just don't use them as much. I'm not quite sure why I pay for them, but yeah, this is a mixture of old homes and new homes. Some of the older homes have been beautified to make them, look for the neighborhood, to pick up the neighborhood. And here we're passing Cleves Street. So this is one of those streets. I'm on Tulip that I mentioned in a previous video. There's a U. If you go straight enough, I just passed Port St. Lucie Boulevard. The point I'm trying to make. If you keep going on this a couple of miles, you will hit Port St. Lucie Boulevard at another point. So I think they're called circles or U's. I'm not sure if I ever knew the official term. I used to say circles, but it might not be the official term or what it's called. But we have several streets in our town that will drive you to the same street you left, just a different location. It won't leave you at the same starting point, but it'll leave you on let's say Port St. Lucie Boulevard, or California will leave you on Del Rio at two different points. It's not a big town, so it's not like many miles away from each other. It could be a couple of miles. But whoever planned the town, I guess, didn't plan for the expansion, didn't see it as a possibility, didn't care probably. This was probably a retirement town. There goes St. Lucie County Fire District fire truck. And that's my video for now. As I get closer to that house, I hope you appreciate. Please like and subscribe. Please forgive that I'm new to the format and I'm learning all this stuff. I'm learning the editing, which is non-existent right now, but I have to learn it. I'm learning the software. I'm learning the algorithms. So if you like and subscribe, you'll get more of my videos. and you'll help me out and you'll show support. And thank you for your time. This is Juan for Porsche and Lucie.